Hello guys, it's been a long time. Welcome back to my channel, and here I am back with another video related to Global Korea Scholarship, where I'll be explaining GKS Graduate 2023 guidelines, and in this detailed video I'll be explaining each point in the new guidelines, and then I'll be giving a conclusion and then what you have to do, which documents you have to submit. So all you have to do is that watch this video and your all doubts will be clear, I guess. So now the first step is to download the guidelines. So the first step you have to do is that go to this particular website, that is studyinkorea.go.kr, and once you go on this website you can see some website like this, and if you don't know Korean like me, so you can just click to turn it English, but it's okay. So all you have to do is that go down, and then you can see here is GKS written, right? So you just click here and a page like this will open, and then you have to go on this particular link, that is 2023 Global Korea Scholarship for Graduate Degree, and then after you go there you just click here and then this page will open, and as you can see this has been announced on 10th of February, and then you have to download these all particular documents like application forms, guidelines, university information. This university information is really useful because when you download this file they will have a list of various universities, and then you can see which university has what specific requirements and what are the dates and everything. So this is also a very important file. So you download all these files and then you can start filling the application form. So before filling the application form you should read the guidelines very carefully. So let's see the files which we can download from here. So after you download all these files you will get some files like this. So you can see I have downloaded the files and I have extracted the file. So when you download the file it will be in a zip file, so you have to extract these files, and after you extract you will get these files. So let's say if you're applying to a university, let's example any university, maybe Jeju National University, so you can click here and you can go into these particular files. You can read which departments are available, because this is also very important. Like people ask like what to fill in major, what to fill in department, so you can check these Excel sheets and you will find a lot of information about these things. And then finally the guidelines. So this is, you can see the guidelines in English and Korean. So I'll be reading the English one and I'll be explaining each of the guidelines. So without wasting any time, let's directly go to the guidelines and see how it is. So this is the guidelines which I'm talking about, and I'll be reading these guidelines and explaining the various points in these guidelines one by one. So let's go. So these all are basic information, as you can see. Now here is one of the information that you can apply for master's degree, and for 2 years, and that is 1 year of language, and then 3 years of doctor and 1 year of language. So I mean this is like usually same every year, and this is another category from last few years, that is research. So okay, moving ahead. So these are the quota of embassy track and useless information. I mean it's all available already. Now this is another information about, so last year actually they did some very messy things about distributing the universities, but this year they have made it simple, that is type A and type B. So you can see there are two types of universities, type A and type B. So when you fill your application form you have to fill type A or type B and then select the university like that. Moving ahead, then you can see these are like embassy track, people can apply for type A, type B, and in university track, in embassy track people can apply for type A, type B, and in university track if you're applying for general program, okay, then you can apply for type A or type B. If you're applying for regional universities then you can only select type B universities, and if you're applying for R&D category then you can only select these universities. So keep those things in your mind before choosing a program, because if you select a R&D program or a research program, then you can select these kind of universities. So it depends on which program are you applying. Okay, moving ahead. So these are the application quota, every year it's like same, maybe 1 or 2 increase or decrease. That's like you can read it and get the information about. Moving ahead. So okay, this is also like not so big information. Nationality. So as you can say, nationality, like if you are not from Korea then you can apply, that's all. That's the only thing written here. and the level of education. This is also very important. You know, people apply for master's degree and they ask me questions like whether they can apply for master's degree with diploma. You cannot. So if you're applying for master's degree, you should have bachelor's degree. Okay, if you're applying for doctoral degree, you should have master's degree. And if you're applying for postdoc or exchange professor or anything under research category, then you should have these degrees. So it depends on which degree you have and which degree you can apply for. So this is also important. And the thing is, like this year they have clearly mentioned that applications must have obtained the required degree by Feb 28, 2023. Now what this means is, like, let's suppose I am about to complete my bachelor's degree, I am about to complete my master's degree, but I'll be completing maybe by month of May, month of June, or maybe after 28. I cannot apply this scholarship, okay, because this is like they have made this rule this year. So if you have your degree, that is this degree, master, doctor, or whatever degree, by 28th of February 2023, then only you can apply for this scholarship this year. So if you are not in this category, you can stop watching this video. Maybe you can watch next year. So this is the real big change they have made this year, and then we have to, you know, work on accordingly, because if you apply, then maybe you will be rejected. So it's better not to apply and wait for 1 year to apply next year. Moving ahead. So again, every year we talk about you know, things like grades. So you can see the grades are like still the same. You have to be scoring 80% on 100 scale. So people from India, they have like a CGPA system that is 10 scale, but they can convert their 10 scale on percentage scale, and then they can, you know, check if the percentage is falling above 80 or not. So if you are falling above 80, you can apply, it's good. But if you don't, then you can apply for top 20 percentile certificate. And then, so I have already made a video on 20 percentile certificate and all of these things in detail, so you can watch those videos and get back to me if you have any questions. Now if you have like some different scales, like maybe 4 scale or 4.3 or 4.5 or 5, then also you can apply. Then these are the requirements written there. Now there is another you know, another big catch is like, if you have like 10 scale and if you don't have 80%, okay, now you can start your grades to, I mean, you can try to convert your grades using websites like Scholaro, WES, and there are other websites, but I'm not sure about like how correct they are. But 2 of the major websites are Scholaro and WES. So you can try to convert your grades and then get it approved. So I'll be talking about that in the guidelines later. So moving ahead. So again, the age thing. So you have to be you have to be under 40 years of age. That's obvious. I mean, okay, moving ahead, health and eligibility. Yeah. So this is also an interesting thing. Like if you are applying for a teaching professional program, so only embassy track applicants can apply. So this, like, if you have to be a teacher in your school right now, I mean, let's say if you are working as a teacher, so you can apply for this particular program. So they have some different kind of, you know, they will teach you about education system and how to teach and everything. So they have a different degree program. So if you are eligible for this program, you can apply for that. Moving ahead. Now, so if you are like graduate from a, you know, Korean high school or a Korean university, you are not eligible to apply. So why I'm, you know, putting an emphasis on this particular line is that you are, let's say you are doing some degree in Korea for like maybe a master's degree, okay, but not on GKS, but you want to apply for GKS for PhD, you cannot apply for this particular GKS because you are already studying in a Korean university. So that's why, that's obvious reason you cannot apply. And then there are other things like who have received the degree and you know, they are still not eligible to apply. And also like cancellation of scholarships. So I mean, if you have got the degree, got the scholarship and then you did not take it, like me, so I cannot apply for this scholarship. So yeah, this is like you know, obvious rules which you have to read and get into it. And then this is the rule I was talking about. So final successful candidates of GKS degree program for past 3 years who have withdrawn from the program cannot apply. So that's the okay. It's anyway, moving ahead. Now the main thing, what are the documents needed? Because this is the one of the major question, like which documents you have to submit. So as you already know, there are two ways, like university track and embassy track. So if you are applying from embassy track, you have to submit your documents to the embassy, the Korean embassy of that particular country. I mean, the Korean embassy of let's say if you are in India, so you have to submit all the documents if you are applying through embassy track to the embassy. Okay, but if you are applying via university track, then you have to select a university from all those list of universities. You have to find one university and you have to send your documents to them. So two tracks: embassy, university. Embassy, send your documents to embassy. University, send your documents to university. Simple. Now what are the documents you need? Let's see. So here you can see, for documents, like for application forms, these all documents you are already getting from the website. I mean, from this downloaded folders, downloaded files. So you can get application form, you can get personal statement, study plan, research proposal. So yeah, so this is only needed for research category people. Okay, so if you are not applying for this category, you can skip this thing. You cannot you don't have to submit this. So if you're applying for master's degree, you need to submit this application form, personal statement, study plan, and then one letter of recommendation. That is only one this type, and this is form 5. And again, letter of invitation you don't have to submit if you are not applying for this particular thing. And then GKS application. So all of these documents you can get it from the downloads. I mean, when you download this particular guidelines and all the files associated with it, you can get it directly. Now another document is this particular set of document. Now every year I've been making video on GKS, and I've been telling that this particular set of document, you have to apostille it. Okay, so what are the documents? Now, applicants and parents proof of citizenship. Okay, so in this I have told many times, like you can only submit birth certificate. Okay, now I'm writing it so you have to get it. You can submit birth certificate, for applicant, at least for applicant. Okay, if you have your parents' birth certificate also, that's perfect. But if you don't have, but still you have to submit your birth certificate. You have to submit your birth certificate. Now moving ahead, for the parents' proof of citizenship, so you can submit maybe any national ID or something, and then you have to submit passport and something. Like if you are submitting passport, then you don't have to apostille. So it's a bit complex thing. To make it simple, I would say that you can submit your birth certificate, and for parents you can submit any document, but if it's a passport, then you don't need to apostille. Another document, that is bachelor's graduation degree certificate. There is no expected graduation certificate this year. Okay, so if you watch my video on expected graduation certificate, you just don't watch it. You just only watch top 20 percentile certificate video. So from this year they have not they have stopped accepting the expected graduation certificate. So it's better not to apply with expected graduation certificate. Now the bachelor's degree transcript. Now people ask, like, what is transcript? So I have already put a Google Drive link, and if you don't have that link, you can message me on Instagram and I'll give you that link. So I have put there a sample transcript of how a transcript looks like and what is a transcript, and other documents also. And I'll be uploading these all GKS guidelines if you cannot find this particular website to download the guidelines. So I'll be putting these things on my Google Drive folder, and you can get that Google Drive link by messaging me on Instagram. So these are the things, like you have to get a transcript, and if you don't have a transcript, then you can also submit your mark sheets. But then again, the mark sheets are like semester wise mark sheets. So if you are submitting your mark sheets, then you have to apostille all the mark sheets, right? So if you get a transcript that is 1 or 2 page, then you can only apostille that. And if you don't have, then you have to submit your mark sheets and you have to get it apostilled. Now if you're applying for doctor degree, then you have to submit your bachelor's and master's, both of things, okay? And if you're applying for research, then you have to apply for these three things, like bachelor, master's, doctor. Then certificate of employment, so you don't have to submit if you are not under this particular thing. And this thing also, like these are like generally we don't submit these kind of things. And if you're applying for this particular teaching professional thing, so you have to submit these particular things. So the main thing which you have to submit right here is like bachelor's, master's. So and the application parents, like citizenship proof. So these 5 documents, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe 1, 2, and 3. So these documents needs to be apostilled. Moving ahead. Other optional documents. Now other optional documents, what you can submit is like if you have topic scores, you can submit, and if you have like English proficiency test, you can submit. So let's say if you have IELTS or TOEFL, so you can submit that. And if you have like, let's say Duolingo also, it's like it's okay, but I mean it's not so widely accepted right now. But if you have something is better than nothing, so you can submit that. Moving ahead, awards and other certificates, like you can just submit a copy of it, and also passport copy of yours. So these things you don't have to apostille or notarize or true copy anything. You just have to submit a copy, simple photocopy. That's all. Now moving ahead to the evaluation stage. So in the first round of embassy and university, you have to submit the documents, like with the application guidelines, whatever documents, and then the required certificates. So now the number of documents, okay. For university track, you have to submit the document that is written as per the university information file, which you can get from this particular guidelines. Like I showed you different university folders, and you can find which university needs what number of sets. So generally one university will need only 1 set, or maybe sometimes 2 sets. So you can check that from the university. But if you are applying for embassy, then you have to submit 4 sets of documents. So the 4 sets will be like 1 original set, okay, and then 3 copies. Now 1 original, I mean, is like 1 original means like if you are apostilling 1 document, then you put the original apostille document in this particular set and make just 3 simple photocopies of that particular set to make it 3 copies. You don't have to apostille 4 sets. You just have to apostille 1 set and then make it 3 copies. That's all you need for embassy track. So this is as simple as that. Moving ahead, you can see from the second round, that is the need round, and this is the main round, okay? So people think like for embassy track, I mean, it's okay, you can be happy if you are getting selected in the first round, because then you are like almost selected. But for university track, the need round is the most useful, I mean most important round, okay? So there is a chance of getting rejected, like there is a very high chance of getting rejected in this particular need round. And let's say, I mean, I have been listening to few of queries or many other videos also, where people say that if you are like, if university is ready to accept a document which is not in the guidelines, then it's okay. It's not like that. If there, like let's take an example. For example, if you don't have a birth certificate, but your university where you are applying is okay to accept any other document than birth certificate, maybe that university will send your name to need, recommend you in the first round, but when the need will see your documents and they will see that you don't have your birth certificate, they will reject your application. So that's why I'm saying that you should follow this particular guidelines very well, okay? This is the ultimate guideline. University will release the guidelines. You have to submit the documents as per this guidelines, but if university asks for any other documents, that you can put in addition to this documents. So you have to add those documents. It's not like you can replace those documents by, so you have to get it right. So whatever the documents asked in this particular guidelines, you have to submit. And if you replace any documents, there is a high chances of getting rejected. Anyways, moving ahead. So as I was saying, 1 set of original documents and 3 sets of additional copies, simple photocopies in embassy track, and university track 1 set of original documents. But sometimes university will ask like 2 sets also, so it depends on university. Now moving ahead, some documents are also not in English, right? So people have like some documents in Hindi or some documents in Marathi or some other languages. So what you have to do is that you have to get it translated, and then you have to submit it together. Okay, for example, let's say, take another example. So you have a birth certificate which is not in English. Okay, so what you have to do is that you have to get it translated. Okay, and you have to submit that original translated document along with apostille copy of that birth certificate. So that's the thing which I'm talking about here. If you don't understand, listen to this video again. I mean listen to this voice again, and then you will understand it. Okay, moving ahead. So again, I'll be ignoring these things which are not so important. And okay, so so it's like, if you submit the documents, it will not be returned. So try to submit the copies, not the original. From what copy I mean is like, I'll explain it here. So you have one original birth certificate. For example, I'll call it P.C. birth certificate. You have original. So what you do is that you take a copy of it, make a copy, okay, and then you send it for apostille. So first you make the copy and then send it for apostille, and then that copy with, this is the copy now with apostille. Okay, now you submit this. This is the perfect way. I have been making a video on apostille since last year, and every time I focus on this particular step, because in this way your original document will be like original documents always, but you are making a copy and getting it apostille and sending it. So this is the perfect way. If you can watch it again and again to understand this process. This is very simple. Now this is again requirements for each submitted documents. Now this is, I'll explain in detail. Proof of citizenship. So again, I will telling you, like, birth certificate is very important. Family register, in some countries family register is there, but if they don't have, then birth certificate is the best thing. And let's say if your parents are divorced or deceased, then you can submit a death certificate or a divorce certificate or something like that to prove that, and all of them should be apostille. So, and if the citizenship proof is, if the citizenship information is not available on these things, these documents, then in addition to that you can submit the passport copies. Okay, in addition to that, it's not like you can replace that document with passport copies. Passport copies, okay, but with birth certificate you have to submit passport copy if there is information missing on the birth certificate. So that's another important thing which you can take a note of. Moving ahead, certificate of graduation. Now this year, from 2023, they have made a really big change that you have to submit a graduation certificate or a degree certificate or a diploma certificate that indicates the date of graduation. The graduation must be prior to 28 February 2023 for GKS 2023. So you cannot apply with provisional graduation certificate, provisional degree certificate. As a provisional certificate, personally, if you ask me, then they should have allowed the provisional certificate. See, there are two kinds of certificates. One is expected graduation certificate and other is provisional. Provisional is something which you get after you finish all your exams and you don't have your original degree, but you have a provisional degree saying that you have completed every requirements. So from my perspective, they should have allowed this provisional, but they have not allowed this one also. So you have to apply only with the original degree certificate which you get in your convocation or whatever the way you get it in your university. So from this year they have really made this big particular thing. So if you are thinking of applying without this document, it's better you don't apply, because it will cost you a lot of money, because apostille and everything takes a lot of money. So as a senior, I would suggest you not to apply and then apply next year when you have all the documents with you. Okay, anyway, moving ahead. Now, academic transcript. Now this is also a very important document. As you can see, the transcript should be officially issued by a graduated university. If the CGPA is not indicated in one of the acknowledged GPA scales, that is 100-point scale is also there, right?
So don't worry about that. Let's say if you have 10 scale, okay, and you have a explanation from your university that how to convert in 100 scale, then it's okay. You can submit your 10 scale because you have an explanation by your university that you can how to convert in 100 scale. So it's like it's okay. But a converted transcript, okay, but a converted transcript, like if you are converting from 10 to 4 scale, will be only valid when the relevant university officially confirm the documents, okay, and the supplementary document does not need to be apostille but should be submitted in original doc. So what it means is that you have your transcript, let's say 10 scale, you got it converted on 4 scale, but this 4 scale certificate is now approved by your university, and let's say this is a seal approved, okay. So what you have to do is that you have to apostille this particular one, apostille, okay, and this in original form you have to submit together. So this is the step which I'm talking about. So 10 scale you have to apostille, 4 scale you converted and you get it signed by your university, so it's okay, you submit original. So this is what this is talking about. I hope so. And yeah, Scholaro and WES, which I was talking about, only acceptable when the relevant university confirms the documents and do not need to be apostille. I was saying the same thing. And then transcript indicated with CGP or the entire academy will be accepted even, okay. So let's say if you have a transcript where semester 1, semester 2, semester 3 marks are written but GPA are not written. I mean, let's say semester 1 marks are written, semester 2 marks are written, but CGPA is like at the end. Still it's okay, you can write the CGPA directly in the application form. There is no need to write semester wise marks, semester wise GPAs, whatever. So that's like its case. So in that case, like let's say if you don't have semester wise GPAs, then you can leave that section empty and only put the CGPA section. I mean, in the application form you can see there is 2 sections, like one is like GPA per semester, so you can leave that empty, and then in CGPA you can only write the CGPA, that is the actual, I mean, overall CGPA. So this is what I mean. If you guys want me to make a video on that, so please comment, and I'll also make an how to fill the application form again for 2023. So if you guys like this video, like the way which I explained, so please comment down and I'll make a video on that also. Okay, moving ahead. So these all documents are like, I mean, it's not for everyone, so I mean you can read it and get the information. And then the score report I was talking about, right? So if you have TOPIK, you can submit TOPIK, and if you have English proficiency, so TOEIC, TOEFL, IELTS are accepted, and it should be valid. I mean, there is a validity of 2 years in these tests, so make sure it's valid, and you have to submit original printed copy of the test report. Other materials which you have to submit, you don't have to get it apostilled, you just have to submit a simple photocopy. And if you have like if you are making your personal statement in which you are explaining all these documents, I mean all these awards which you have got, or all these sometimes you explain about any courses which you took. For example, if you're taking a online course apart from your academics, if you mention that in your personal statement or study plan, then you can also attach a certificate of that in this particular other materials. So whatever other things you have, for example, you have an acceptance letter from a professor or anything, so you can put in everything in this particular section. And passport copy is passport copy. Now this is one of the most important sections, I mean one of the important lines in the guidelines. So I have been watching a lot of videos from people who say that you can apostille your, let's say if this original document, you apostille your original documents and you make a photocopy and then you true copy stamp and you can submit. But this way is a useless way. Okay, this is the most useless way. I mean, in my way, I mean, if I am the person saying this, you should not do that. You should not take apostille on your original document. I have been telling this from the beginning itself. So what you can do is that you can take your original document, you can make a photocopy, and then you can apostille this photocopy. Okay, photocopy of apostille. So you take an original document, you make a color photocopy, and you apostille that photocopy. So this is what it has been written. I mean, if you read this, they have explained this time that what I was telling last year, that you have to apostille, I mean, you have to submit a document which contains the original apostille stamp. So if you take a apostille on an original document and you make a photocopy of it, then it will not have the apostille stamp on it. I mean, not original one. Okay, so that's what it means. I mean, you can read it and understand it. And then moving ahead, so these are the things which I have explained many times, and these are the things which you can read and get it by yourself. And this is evaluation. These are like, yeah, so again, this is also important part. So when you fill the application form, you have to fill official name. Don't fill like, if you're applying for Seoul National University, you should not fill like SNU. Fill the complete name. Okay, so, and then you can apply the universities and departments listed in university information file. So you download that file, you check which department and which major is available for the scholarship. Not all the departments are under GKS scholarship, so you check from that file. An applicant's English name must match the name on passport. Okay, that's the important thing. And this is okay, this is okay. Checklist must be submitted in order of checklist, like 1, 2, 3, like that order. And then you have to put a label like this, and A4 size documents. So this is okay. So again, for embassy track, people can apply for 3 different university, and you have to choose at least one from type B. Now moving ahead, university track, you can only apply to one university and submit your documents to that university. Now main points they see during evaluation. So first they will see like document examination. Of course, they will see that whether the documents are correct, I mean you are qualified, and then the you know, all the documents are correct or not. And then there's like vacancies, authenticity, and if you have like topic, additional points will be given, and these things are like that. Okay, so from next year, these things will have extra points. Okay, additional points. So make sure of this from next year, not this year. So evaluation preference, you can see first is Koreans, overseas Koreans, low income family, unprivileged backgrounds, and those who applied for natural science, engineering and regional. So if you are applying for type B university, maybe you will be given more privileged, I mean more points than the person applying to type A university, and who is a teaching professional in natural science engineering and who submit a high score in these particular tests, or a postdoctoral research application. Now the final announcement, you can see the final announcement will be made around by this particular thing. I mean not the final announcement, but if you have like topic scores and something, so you can send to NEET by June 14, 2023, and these things are there. I mean if you submit these things, then you don't have to take the language. I mean I think if you submit some topic level, then you don't have to take the 1-year language course. So I mean these things you can read and get from the guidelines. These are not so things you should worry about at the time of application. And yeah, this is like withdrawal. So if like if a successful candidate withdraw from IELTS, he or like, this is something which I did, I remember very well. And once the scholarship is announced, it cannot be reversed. So yeah, of course, like this is like things you should, I mean you should take care after you get selected. Okay, and then graduation certificate. So selected GK scholarship, prepare multiple scholarship, get to the okay, these things, I mean after you get selected, you can read this and you can get it, you know, get some information about it. We can talk about this later also. And these are the things which you can, I mean, so for master's degree 3 years, for doctors 3 years, and yeah, these are the benefits and everything which you can read. And I think I have completed all the guidelines, and I hope I was able to, you know, answer your queries.
through this video, and if you still don't understand, and if you want more videos like how to fill the application form or any other videos, you can please comment down and then I'll know about it. And if you want that Google Drive folder where I have uploaded a lot of sample files and everything, so you can message me on Instagram, and this is my Instagram which will be on the screen. So you can reach out to me on Instagram, ask any questions and whatever. You can follow me there. And also, if you have any questions, like something which is like really serious question, so it's better to drop an email to this particular email. I mean, you can send an mail to this particular email and then you try to get their answers, because ultimately they are the one who will be making the final selection. So if you have any small query, any query which can lead to rejection, so it's better to get it cleared by this particular email. Okay, so I think that was it, and this is the video which in which I have explained this year's guidelines, and I hope it would help you. And if you have any questions, please come to me on Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because if you subscribe, then only I feel motivated and I make a lot of videos like this. So thank you and all the best.